Good morning, lady.
How's it going? Whoa,
Again.
again. True. You said
Okay, thank you. That's what I needed. You did see that. We do our numbers and better videos, YouTube videos on our phone, right? And we got the video from Summer Barbecue.
yes.
I want to add it to my smart plan. But I text out to everybody so that they can watch my 1 minute video, and then the next video of that comes up. You know, should I just?
Suggest you.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I got your text. Oh, you Visual tournament. That makes so much grace. I can actually. Can you have it out there? Yeah. We're somewhere right now. So. Yeah, let's just say my part. Exactly. I feel like start planning. Yeah, exactly. Question. Exactly. Absolutely. That would actually be so. And you are. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, I think it's all right, everybody, go ahead, scan that QR code, let us know you're here. Again, those that are sitting at the back, make sure that you come into the training room, find a chair that has enough. Sorry. I see you. That, come sit by your number. Unless you don't like money. I was gonna say. All right, well, let's share the love. This weekend was full of fun times, so who is grateful? This mic is awesome. I'm gonna take care of you. Who's grateful?
I was thinking about this. Yesterday morning, one thing produced and made 330 of them.
Who else is grateful?
I read from the Spencer Girls and luxury. Luxury watch party. It's my good mind.
And Danielle, our luxury pro. Who else is grateful? Well, Lindsay is awesome, and her coaching has helped a lot of our agents get jobs started. It's amazing.
Always great. We looked out this vacation last month.
I'll just sit. Are you grateful for your gift card? Right. So, yeah, she's cute.
You guys don't know if
She's also stepping into residential real estate for commercial, so anything that you can mastermind is really fun too. Welcome to our new agents, guests, and visitors. She's going to come up and talk a little bit later as well. And thanks you. Hey. Hi. Hi, I'm Celeste. I'm the executive director of the Business Council. We're going to hear from her a little bit later. Not a new agent, but I got to meet him for the first time today. Paul.
I am Paul, I'm just another realtor with you.
And he's gonna be in here a lot more now. I was like, oh my gosh. And we have Geraldo as well, officially a part of
Hello everyone, I'm Geraldo. Fabio.
Well, this is so fun, and we love having everyone introduce all of your friends, your family members, and we have a scholarship program. If you know anyone that wants to get licensed or is interested in real estate, and then if you know anyone that is already in real estate, obviously that's what. Close your eyes for a second.
1, 2, 3, go.
As you skip. And come back up.
Okay, open.
All right, who has the parking pass for Brickyard? Okay, we have all of them at the front desk, and we ordered 300 of them. So here's enough for every single agent. So if you do not have a parking pass for Brickyard, doesn't matter if the office or for you, get a parking pass for Brickyard because you will get in trouble. Not by me. All right, and our new agent shout out, we have Kara, Ryan, Timothy, Ellen, AJ, and Wes out there, and Jolly and Geraldo. Welcome. We have Mr. Stern. Very nice. Perfect period.
That was really fun. I'll just maneuver around. So one of the things I did a little bit differently, if you guys have noticed on the dashboard, I think this would be fun for a lot of you guys who are just working, say, Utah, right there, county, every city in the county, velocities, prices, and expectations are going to be vastly different. So one of the things that I did differently in the last couple of these market stats, if you've been following along, seen them. If you wait for me to present once a month, you'll see it today, and that is nothing. So it's not great. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I have no idea why that's not showing up, but it should. What I've done is I've gone through all the different counties and put that on there, and it's not populating for whatever reason, but that's probably an internet. That's probably an internet thing, but I think you guys will find this like vastly useful. It's just having a dashboard of what's happening month over month for each county, but then also what's happening year to date for each county. And then I also compare that sort of with the state of Utah. So a lot of numbers that have been reported over the last, 15, 18 months from you guys have been kind of just here's what's happening in Utah. So we get our clients are always, sucked into what's happening nationally because that's what makes the headlines. So my job is as a local economist, still some of these national headlines and what's happening through a local economist. So this is real estate economist. Now, what I've gone one step further based on the conversation that I had with Andy, and I thought, I'll just give you guys more since I'm in this spot. Yeah, so that's what I have for you, but I want to go through some of the highlights for you. So first of all, our median home price year over year is already up in the state of Utah, almost 3%. We're going to see that from my county in a moment. Our pending sales have just skyrocketed over where we were last year. We've got 12.3%. And so if we think about what inventory growth looks like in Utah right now, I think it's close to 5% increase in inventory year over year. So you can see our pending sales are more than double what the new listing volume is coming on. That shows us there's still a lot of pent-up demand for real estate statewide. And this was an interesting one, and that is because I have the years worth of data that tracking price cuts, et cetera. We looked at the same holiday week last year versus the holiday week this year, July, and our price cuts are actually down 22%. So that's a pretty interesting stat. If we look at mortgage rates, thankful that we've got Luminary to talk a lot about this. But one of the things that's been saving grace for us this year in terms of rates below, where they would have been maybe 2023 or 2024 mortgage spread. So right now, the mortgage spread is sitting around 2%. So if you look at our 10-year treasury and you add, say, 2% to that, that's going to give you the average 30-year fix. That's just the price as is. So that's not a blackout rate like that. That's a good number for us. If you guys follow housing wire on this, right? Yeah. So you're going to hear when our interest rates stay below 6.65%, we generally will see upward trends in buyer activity. And so if we look at mortgage applications nationally, those numbers are up double digits year over year. And that's still with everything that had happened with the war tax the other end, or where things did kind of pull back with interest rates took a big bounce and we kind of settled out of it. A big part of the benefit that we've had in interest rates has been that spread. If we look at some of the numbers that matter, there it is. The pendings, like I said, those are up 12.3%. Inventory grew 6.5%. So buyers are absorbing, more than what's coming on in the market. That's interesting to see this time of year. The monthly closings last month and last year were down, but year to date they're up 1.5%. Median home price in Utah 3%. That's good news because if you look at the national headlines, you're seeing in a lot of areas housing prices have actually gone down, but nationally overall they're pretty much flat. So the other thing that's really interesting is the fact that we're running around a 4-month supply of homes on the market. It's kind of considered a normal market, although this time of year with the velocity the way that it is, that still tends to be in sellers' favor. However, let's take a look at this. This is last week. We had 918 properties still under contract in the state of Utah last week. That's up almost 3% over that same holiday week the year previous. And this is kind of an interesting stat too. And that is our price reductions are at 1,249, and that's down 22% from the same time last year. So you have price cuts kind of falling, which means all of you guys already know this. Correctly priced homes are still selling very, very quickly. Yes, oftentimes with multiple offers. The thing that I found interesting also is that our days on market have gone up now 4 straight weeks. This time of year, we don't typically see an increase in days on market. We typically see the days on market keep falling. But in this case, we have now 4 weeks of increased days on market. What that tells me is that story of 2 markets, the bifurcation, which is having properties that are, testing the water and they're in scale and they're dragging those days on market back up. And then you have low price properties. You guys sell very, very quickly. So this is a good slide for you guys to hold on to. If you look at just what's happening in Salt Lake County, Salt Lake County itself is still in the 5 counties that I'm tracking. It's still the demand leader. Our median price is up almost 4% year over year at 566.5. Closings have grown to 2.8%, while the state overall had fell 3.8% over June of last year. Year to date, we're up 3.2%. So remember, some of these market stats that I'm presenting show us a snapshot of this year in June versus last year in June, but last year up to the end of June versus this year up to the end of June. So we have 2 different numbers that we're tracking on this, just a month over month, but then also a year-to-date number. So I give you guys kind of a seller play on this. The closings growing in the only month that the state actually shrank at 3 months supply. Sellers, their home sell fast, and they get to buy into record selection. When I say record selection, we haven't had this many homes on the market since before June 2015. For June, we've not had this many selections available for 11 years, which is pretty amazing. Buyer play, we just have to realize that it's a very tight core market here in Sullivan County. Homes generally are going a lot quicker than they are statewide. You can see it's 47 days versus 59 days statewide. If you get buyers, pre-approved, pre-underwritten, especially with the guarantee that comes from Luminary, you set those expectations up front. Don't let them hesitate on low price homes. You guys are experts in real estate. Know what properties are going to move. Do not let your people hesitate on price. You guys got to drive that train. These are both single and multi. Yeah, if you really want to be a market leader, break out single family from your part of the town. Multi as well. That's just so true. Money markets. You're welcome. Davis County, they're the velocity leader, which means they're selling quicker really year to date than any other county along the Wasatch Front. The pending home sales also super hot right now in Davis County. They're up 14% year over year, and their closed sales are up 4.8% year over year. So a good selling play for that is the cleanest listing digit Utah buyers are up 14%. Homes are selling faster than a year ago. Here you want to farm those expireds really hard. I mean, your home didn't fail, just the price did. And that'll land, that's where velocity is proven to be priced, which it is. And then for buyers, speed cuts both ways, 47 days means clean, price right, inventory doesn't last. Right, the escalation strategy, fresh listings, you guys all understand that. The escalation process, if you need to, if your clients are comfortable with that, use the right addendums and stay standing. Utah County appreciation leader. They are up 5% year over year. So the 5 counties that are tracking, including the state, they're the strongest median price leader with 5% gain. They also have the tightest inventory in the Wasatch Front, and it's the silicon source scarcity, right? So inventory is only up 2%. They're getting 97.7% of the overall listed sale price. So that's also a fantastic market to be working in. If we look at Weber and Tooele, just a couple of shorts on those. Weber markets median county price up 3.6%. Everybody know who Weber is? All right. Northern Davis, thinking. Or also, it's one of the most affordable places for our metropolitan areas along the Wasatch Front. Where the prices are sitting at $445,000, which is really great. Inventory in Tooele, wow, they're the only place pasture 13%. Are you noticing, what that's due to the market there? So I imagine it's the velocities there, just have a lot of competition. Properties, a lot of this turns people into town buyers. So that's kind of the overall what's happening. I'll post this, or I'll post this up so you guys have these slides. But again, all of this information is available for you county by county. If you just go to the marketing report, inside of the marketing report, I'm giving you number one seller opportunity script for that, and number one buyer opportunity, the script for that for each of these counties. Right? So if you're going to work one of these, make sure you pay attention to that. And at the very, very top, I'll always have a link that will take you to the dashboard here, which can give you a much more holistic look at this. Since I've now been tracking data for well over a year, you guys can go to these triangles and you can look at, for instance, this is active listings. We can see active currently, we have 14,101. This same week a year ago, we only had 13,463. It also shows us what our 4-week rolling averages for each of these categories. New listings, which of course declined as a result of the holiday. You're under contract backup held quite strongly, especially over a holiday. And the sold volume is up big time over last week because we're in capsule rate. You're also going to see that expires would have gone up over last week as well, just because it's the end of the month and most people break their contracts. So, all of this is available for you. All of the house talking, buyer opportunity, seller opportunity, and then where to go and find those potential buyers and sellers. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks for listening to me.
So with that, we have our preferred partner with our chairs, Patty and Zach.
Still busy. No, no. So, hey, if you don't know who we are, that's our fault. We are the preferred partner co-chairs for this year. That means that we're in charge of making sure that preferred partners in this office are here to be of service to you, and they're here to help build your business, take care of your clients. We have a specific ask we're actually looking for right now. We actually cherry pick who becomes a preferred partner in this office, specifically so that they need to have a business model that supports all of us, right? There's about 300 of us. You need to have that ability. We're asking you guys to look into your database for preferred partners specifically that can support. They need to have a business model that can take care of all the business. So onesie twosies aren't always a very good fit for us. Looking for a company, and specifically, Melanie, you want to talk about which companies?
There's a lot of things, so quite frankly, I don't know which one I'm talking about specific things we're open to, right? And so this is the organization piece that I think that we've been seeing. And did any of you know before right a second where to go if you want to know? Where is it? Okay, so I would like every hand to be up. So on the link tree, which they have been really great about promoting, I need to keep this better updated, but right here on the third partner info, I was just barely working on this because I'm adding a column and presumptuous. You see your name up there, keep up there, make sure you're good with that. And okay, so we've had a few new ads, and this is what's happening. I need to be doing monthly to make sure you know who is new to the list. So, you know that Regeneration Health, I've got the Sassy on there as the contact. This is a living, breathing, dynamic document. But what I wanted to add, because everybody says, you know, if I had preferred partners with have experiences, right? Their situation changes, their business changes. We want to make sure that this moves out. That if you have a poor experience with somebody, we need to know about it. We want to make sure that we're protecting our clients through our referrals. So over here on agent experience, I just put people that I know, but personally work with these people. I would like to finish building this out. There's a reason they're here. There's a reason they came here. If we have an agent in the office that's had experience, is that valuable? Okay. And then another one, Four Seasons Restoration, this environmental cleanup is new since we last visited. Forge, build, and design and construction. So I'll get on my computer and I'm going to keep sorting it by department so you can find somebody. So that's our goal. But the biggest thing that we need is when you're talking to people, September 22nd is the day to remember. So there is a vendor here at Thanksgiving. The Westfield has been doing for 5 years now. We are partnering with them this year. So all of our vendors will have an opportunity to put a table there.
Can vendors join if they're not a preferred partner?
Yes.
How much is
500.
how much is it to become a preferred partner?
500.
Oh, so you made it back then. It's funny how that lines up.
Funny how that lines up. So showing items and everything he touches is amazing. It is cutting that up. Like I said, they've been 5 years running. Y'all are invited. It's a non-denominational event. So everybody's invited. They say that 50 and 60 vendors will be there. And then at the end, you go through, you talk to XYZ or ABC, and they're looking at to make sure everybody gets space time. You get a lunch card. You get a gift card. So you don't get it. So you can come in without it says reward. So September 22nd for you. Thanksgiving point. And for your vendor contacts, we want to talk to make sure that they have to be able to get these things.
Hey, just out of curiosity, about how many people showed up to the last?
We heard it was between 800 and 1,000. Oh, never down. 600 people?
Say that again. But all of you are thinking like, I haven't heard about this, right? It used to be Westfield and then Southfield participated. Now it is Westfield and QW. So that's why Phil's new is. Oh, we have one friend.
I just want to say, I am super loyal to this program. So if you know somebody who wants to get friends, they are not my first call was that should be your first call. So get all this probably at least 3/4 and anybody who
No, they're not good. Make sure we know about it. We've got this money listed. But thanks, Maria. That's so awesome to hear. Supporting the office by supporting the providers.
And there was a follow-up while we're waiting for your comment from 2025 to 2026. The list shrunk. We did the program to have tiers because of the combined offices, and so it did shrink, but we are rebuilding. So just know that's been part of it.
is there a limit to, like, I saw there's two.
There's actually 3, yes. So part of the program is max is 3, and some there are 2. So it depends on which level they're joined at. So and then also the service area, right? Some people, our main priority is making sure that you guys have somebody to call. So service area numbers, is that pretty much? So, and like I said, I texted us there, so it's on the code, don't feel like that we're changed because of the summer. So we're taking that.
Great question. One last question. They're going to kick us off.
And only one vendor partner and one tech program is our level partners. Yeah, so luminary and
Not sure. In all these different areas. Want to make sure that they have the bond, the business that are on this unified.
Number 1, are you looking to grow a business? That's the first question. And then number 2, how well us see if the value add is the right fit for the business.
Hey, thanks for letting us take some time.
All right, and we're gonna go back to our cultural icon. Y'all, we still have some open seats in the front, and I would hate for everyone in the back to miss out on the giveaway at the end. So if you're not afraid, come on up. Anthony, I know you're not a scared cat. I see an open seat right there. Abigail, you're already coming up. Ava, might as well. AJ, Cal, Danielle, Amy. Yeah. All right. There might be another reason for someone else back there to come up and say it, but I'm gonna let Abigail talk about that.
Okay, so the person I chose is someone that he entered into the office. She is incredibly fun to be around. She's so smart. She is fiercely loyal. She's great.
Might as well bring your stuff. We really do need to do some walkouts. Like Zach mentioned. Do you have to talk?
You can share.
They're all great.
I'm sorry.
What's your favorite thing about it?
You know, honestly, one of my favorite.
Al, Jenna, Dania, Celeste. Gee, there's numbers up here, not quite clear.
Hannah, there's a seat right here by my tree.
That's okay, if y'all don't like winning free things, that's fine. Yeah, I like it. Alright, then we are going back. We're gonna talk about some upcoming classes. We have ethical representation taught by Minarca right after this. Get a CE credit and also learn how to market your listings property, market yourself properly and ethically. We also have how to protest your taxes. Someone that's been doing that at a high level actually gave birth to the one who's teaching it. How does this help your business?
I think it's just another way to give back to us. Word of mouth travels. You know, and a lot of times you get a call and you can't do a thing. And there's many good ones to do, but I sure I get one family it's taken $1,700 one family. Others I got $20 and said, hey, you can go to lunch by yourself and McDonald's. That's it. But they love the fact that I'm willing to do it. It's 15 to 30 minutes, whether I have to do the hearings or not, it's fast. And you don't have to do it. You do a grant account. They're interesting.
We fight so hard for our clients during the transaction. We need to keep fighting for them after the transaction as well. And this is an amazing way to do that. So come to that. Okay. All right, bump set, spike it. That's the way you like it, right? But y'all, we have our wind down is going to be at Liberty Park this Wednesday. You're playing volleyball. That's the bump set, spike it. But just everyone is welcome. Bring a friend if you want. We'll just have volleyballs, a couple of sand courts, and have it. We also have our Capper Mastermind on the 9th at Brickyard from 12 to 1. This is our mid-year review. It's our halftime report. We talked about it last week as well. But whose business has changed over the last 6 months? Everyone who has entered the business in the last 6 months also raise your hand. Yeah. So this is a good time to think about where we are. If you are part of our Capper Mastermind, this is a good time to reset, redo your GPS, and coincidentally, we have a GPS review next week. Oh, shocker. Wow. So we have our mid-year GPS review next Wednesday. This is also following a team meeting next week. We're going over the economic model and the MREA. Who has read the MREA book? Who has read it recently? Okay. So this is a good chance to go over all of the models. We're going to be going over the economic model, and you can come in to Josh's class for 12 to 2 minutes. Then we have our sub-staff in the day. The last one was rescheduled to next Thursday, July 16th. So if you are interested in a sub-staff, you can have to. Who's ready to play some volleyball? From Satisfied yet? David is, Cal is. I don't see y'all there. Yeah. Anthony plays volleyball in a crazy way. So if Anthony's not there, I'm really upset and also scared of you. is. We always see it again. Okay, good. Okay, last day of Lone Wolf training, July 9th. When does DocuSign go away? July 14th. What goes away when DocuSign goes away? All of your documents. If you have anything personal, be sure to get those out. If you have already put them in command, that is great. That's what you should do. But if you have any other documents not pertaining to real estate, definitely extract those. And if you have not already gotten trained on local, definitely be in touch with
Who hasn't been to a local class yet?
me.
Okay, make sure you guys come on the night because Audrey and I, we love you guys a lot. And we also don't want to get home all next time for the end. But you don't know how to do it. Some do. Some do. But please come to the local training. If you have an admin or an assistant, please send them as well. I promise you'll work on it. This will be up for
Yeah. Don't apologize for me if I know.
it does happen sometimes. And I get it. Emergencies are,
But they do have lives and we just like
Audrey's like, yeah.
all right, and with that we have Celeste and Danielle coming up. Give them a round of applause. Hello. Susie, we're gonna make sure everybody in the golf tournament. It is $400 per person, $100 per individuals, and you will be randomly put into a foursome without speaking solo, which is amazing. And today we really are excited because Celeste is with us from Christmas Fox International, and she's going to share a little bit about that nonprofit that is the charity we selected this year for us to go towards. And I don't want to take too much time away from her and come up and share about the nonprofit. So welcome, Celeste.
Thanks. How many? In case you haven't, I'll just quickly give some back history. So we are an organization that partners with the state of Utah to help children who are abused, trafficked, facing homelessness, or are being trafficked. When a child goes into state custody, their rights are temporarily terminated. I should say parents' rights, not children's rights. And so they stay at one of our Christmas box houses. Typically, we do have three in the state of Utah, with one in Moab, one in Ogden, and one in Salt Lake. They stay with us for about 2 weeks to 45 days. And that is just the average stay. That's not because there's a time limit. It's because we want kids placed in families as soon as possible and not in shelter care. But when they come to stay with us, they are, of course, as you might imagine, completely freaked out. We usually don't want to talk about what's going on, and we have to get pretty creative on how to figure out where do they go next. We started 30 years ago this year. It's our 30-year anniversary. We have served more than 185,000 children, which is kind of a lot to get your head around. So that will fill Madison Square Garden for 80 times. It's a little bittersweet because we always say if we didn't have to have it, that would be one job to be okay and kicked out of. But every year it gets harder. We get children that are more difficult to place. They tend to stay longer in the shelters, and that is because of the general awareness of child abuse and the increasing knowledge around substance abuse and mental health issues. What else? I think it's important to note that Christmas box shelters are not, they're made of shelters now. What makes them unique is that most shelters can only take children to the age of 12, which means brothers and sisters over that age are going to have to be separated from their siblings like I was. It's a very personal charity for me. I love the legacy of your mom. Christmas Box House outside of raising young children is my legacy. I have been in the organization in some capacity the entire 30 years since we founded it. And when kiddos come to the Christmas Box House and they get the opportunity to stay with their siblings, I can personally tell you is by far the most significant thing lost everything else. We have the parents, your brother and sister, just a very hard thing to describe. That loss is kind of the last connection to the biological. So we get to keep the child all the way to age 18, about 1,000 siblings together every year, just between the three locations. That's very good for me, so much so that I wrote my book, Garbage Truck Girl. There is a copy for you. That's my memoir, Big Race, also for child welfare, drug addiction, up until the age of 16. It is a very big read, not for everyone, not for politics, just think that it's not for pressure, but it is our best brochure. Kids are in state custody, they're confidential, and we rarely will get a chance to work with kids. So I want to give people an opportunity to know who are they that we serve, what do they go through, who are the half of the children in our foster care system at any given time in the United States, 4,000 children here in Utah. It's also important to note that Christmas box house shelters are not all that we do. On the brochure, which I would ask you to take the video on that impact infographic card shares with you the 7 programs that we have. Our shelters are only one component. They're the most visible, so that's what people think of first. But a couple other programs we have worth noting is we cannot scale shelter care throughout the state for a lot of reasons. What we need to do though, we need to figure out how to help all children that are accessing state services. So how we do that is, as of this year, we are officially, I wanted to be here in time for 30-year anniversary, which we are, we're very proud of it. We're officially in all 29 counties in the state of Utah through our resource rooms, our Christmas box house resource rooms. And those are rooms that are located in state office buildings so that all 1,100 caseworkers in the state of Utah can access items for children that they're providing services to. That is a significantly large one of our programs. The other is our Project Elf. We provide about 3,000 gifts to kids during the holidays. And the other is our largest program because it serves half of the kids we serve every year, which is 14,000. Half, 7,000 of them are served through this effort. It's called our partnership. And it is because what happens is we receive about $800,000 in donations a year in our donation center, which is substantial. And sometimes, because donations are a little finicky, we will get like, no joke, 600-ish, almost 700 parties in a holiday season. We do not do 700 parties, but we have partners that can. And we will oddly not get like a size 13 boy for children's church. So what we found is if we open our doors to the nonprofit sector in this community that's not getting also what they need, we're able to share. And we can share, we know within about an 8-month time period that item's going to sit on the shelf, which we don't want anyone donor us to sit on the shelf. So we now have 123 community partners. It's a substantial amount that we basically shop at our warehouse twice a year in spring and fall partnership. It's important to partner with a nonprofit that is not only based on donations that come from. We are very, very honored to ever be chosen as a charity because if you're not aware, Utah is one of the nonprofit states in the nation. Over 11,000 nonprofits in the state. It's an incredible amount. It is estimated more than half of them will close in the next 12 months. It has a lot to do with the economy and scarcity and shiftiness and nervousness of our economy, but and many other factors. But we are not going to be one of those because we are strong. We've been around for 2 decades, and we're very grateful to get chosen. There's so many amazing partners, but our overhead, our administrative costs are only about 7%. It takes a lot of work to keep us that low. We have 4 full-time, including myself, and 5 part-time employees that covers our 29 counties. So it does create a tremendous amount of effort to keep that administrative cost low, but it allows us to take $1 and maximize it to 7. And that's how we keep this numbers low. So if you're inclined to read the book, again, we're just talking about children that I quite graphic, it can be very hard to read, but it's very true. It's the hardest thing I've ever done for children. And it's probably the most personal thing I could ever do for this organization. And it is, we've already shared about 15,000 copies, which is awesome. I think it's really important to close with this note, and that is every smallest gift that we see makes the greatest impact in a child's life. Example of that is we had a kiddo, 17-month boy, who's at the Shelters last Christmas, and I asked him, who was this year? Most kids get with what they want when we ask them that question. He said, I want a camera. That's not shelters for screening. Because this Saturday is the last time I was seeing my dad. And that level of impact that I can call my team and say, make sure you have for this boy. I can't even describe to you how amazing that is for me to have that. The other girl that was with me is 14. She's been placed in more than 13 homes just in the last several years. And she's called disruptive and too much and too loud. She has a lot of behavioral challenges. Disruptive because of a lot of things. And she said, my favorite thing to do is to dance. I dance on ballet specifically. I've had the same pair of shoes for 3 years and they just hurt my feet. I just got a pair of ballet shoes. I can keep dancing now. And those kind of stories are kids ask for shirts with tags on it. Very real thing to kind of child hope. And that's what you do. That's what the golf tournament will be. And we're just really grateful.
So if you are interested in signing up for some, if you don't necessarily have a foursome, you can still play. You'll get placed into a random foursome, and it's still just $100 per person. And then someone asked last week how much it is to sponsor a whole. Our main ask $50. So any of you work for partners, reach out to them and see if they want to participate. And with that, we have our wow, I know. Yeah, that's. How many of you are working with the first time buyer right now? Guys know what the deadline and is next week. This is a value add for your buyers, right? You like that in your between. And just kidding, anybody else like to mention? So Dave and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about providing a little more value to your buyers in the sense of expectations, actually explaining the documentation that you're sending over to them so that they fully understand what the due diligence checklist is. As well as all of the some of this can be prevented just by setting that expectation, explaining things very clearly. If that's happened, you've already done your job, rather than trying to backtrack and explain how that document works, baseline. So, do you want to speak to that?
You know, I'm not two of you. I'm watching him spit out more information than I could have possibly ever come up with, and he did it on one breath. That's the training. I spent about 3-4 hours last night in a mediation, and the mediator was actually an attorney. So I try to grab pieces anytime I can go to try to figure out how to make your life easier. She said several other times during the course of this, that's a great argument and it's for the spirit of the law. What we're here to discuss is the letter of the law. Okay, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law are two different things. If we're talking to, for example, an sellers. Our sellers are to disclose material information that could affect value of property that a reasonably prudent buyer under a normal inspection period might not be able to discover, right? That's the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law, disclose what you know about the property. The letter of the law has that word might in it. And the defense on the other side of mediation last night was saying that we didn't think that we needed to disclose that because we talked to our maintenance guy and he didn't think so. The letter of the law, they have an argument. The spirit of the law, they don't. Disclose. And so when we're going through a lot of things that Lindsay is talking about, we were accused this last week of watching a final walkthrough inspection. Whose job is to walk through inspection? And why did the buyers think it was ours? And so the conversation you're having, you have a right to walk through inspection. If you can't make it, the property is still supposed to be delivered as per contract. I would be happy to go, but I'm not going forward, and how can we prove we have that conversation? And so what we're talking about, a lot of things you do naturally in the spirit of the role. How are you documenting that you can prove when you go to the court that is asking you for the letter of the law? Does that make sense? I think I just translated it. And guys, again, follow up email stating, I'm looking forward to the walkthrough inspection on Friday. As I told you, there were only 4 being included items to be there. If you're going to have an inspector come and make sure the other stuff, let them know the time is at 10. Something you can do to prove what you were doing and that they understand what your role is and that they have a court discuss the letter of the law versus.
Y'all, look at all of these July birthdays. Obviously, it was America's, and it is yours as well. Let's all sing a very quick happy birthday. Times 2, Timbo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Clarice. Happy birthday to you. That was amazing. All right, and with that, we have Lincoln come up.
It's not my birthday.
How do you like that?
I'm going to go really fast today because we don't have a lot of time. But before I jump into this, I did want to explain a little bit what the broker here was mentioning the American grants. And you saw, I was on email, we're helping you guys. We've won this grant about 3 different times. It's just for first-time home buyers. If you have first-time home buyers, it's like $3,000. It's substantial. It's a really cool program. If you want to know more about it, Priscilla's in here, Tori is here. She can tell you a little bit more about her. Okay. Last week we had jobs numbers come out, and this is kind of in line with what Josh was talking about, but giving a different perspective, it's national perspective. So one of the things that's kind of really sticking out is the numbers are a lot more than expectations. This is ADP, this is employment data on the private sector, and you can see that they had 98,000 versus 113,000 jobs. If you go to the next one, this is the household survey. This shows you kind of what the unemployment rate is. There's a lot of talk happening about unemployment rate going down. As you can see, the numbers are actually not at that level. So why is the unemployment rate going down? Well, if you can explain to your clients around you, the weakness that's happening is because the number of jobs lost is less than the number of people that leave. So when we look at the unemployment rate, it's not everybody that's in the country, it's the unemployment numbers. Even out of the workforce for 6 months, you're not counting anymore. It doesn't mean you don't want to work. You might be looking forward to that. This is a big sign of weakness when we're actually talking. The other thing is how much full-time labor we lost. A lot of times you'll see full-time labor go down, but part-time labor go up. So people take a full-time job and then switch into 2 part-time, part-time, but we're actually seeing an increase in both. This is a big thing. So jobs numbers is a prelude to what's happening with the economy and how that's moving. So the next one, this is the BLS. This is the number that the BLS releases. And it was only 57,000 when we were expecting 100%. That's a substantial number down. In fact, there was a revision down from the previous one for 74,000. That's a substantial revision down. We're already showing pretty anemic numbers in general. So if you kind of take all these things into consideration and you couple that with stability of oil prices that we already talked about, yes, there's some changes happening, but still, oil prices are holding right low we were before that war started. That combination is a big reduction in inflation. One, two things the Fed looks at. The Fed looks at what's inflation doing and what's the jobs market. That is the program. That's how they act between the two. If you have two of those things together working in our favor when it comes to where interest rates are going to go, it really this is just strengthen our position of what we expect going into Q4 to Q1. So keep those things in mind. Talk to your clients because the current environment, the job is explaining, having multiple offers. It's not going to get better for them. It's going to get more aggressive, right? So that seller market, talk to your buyers. We use our guarantees to win your guys' offers. Or just have another deal that might be a contract within. They have what was it, 7 deals a month, and they went under contract and they went our. Okay. So there's a lot of ways. I wanted to emphasize one product for you guys, DSCR loans. If you have investors, the really cool product with the DSCR loans is they don't need to have the income. Maybe you have people that want to buy a house and they have 20% down, but they don't have the income because of how they write up the taxes and so on and so forth. This is a great product to talk to your investors about. We do them a lot with 1031s, we do them a lot with people that are just looking to expand, and we even do them with refinances. So a great product to talk to your clients about if you have questions. Here's the thing right now as far as our rates. So small, that's wrong. That's a 5.7. Sorry, that's FHA. So FHA and B are still 5.75, but the cost is a little bit more. And conventional ticked up to 6.375, and that's similar cost that we've had a little bit lower. So that's just a small uptick we had. I'm wanting you to mention that these points go away if you use our What's My Payment program. If you don't know about what What's My Payment program, you need to come talk to Tori about our listings. How do we get to our What's My Payment program? These points basically go away for your prospective buyer. Next one is just for you guys. We're still at 5.875. The cost was around 0.6, now it's about 0.7, so a little bit costly more. But again, this is just for Keller Williams, just for our jumpers. I think we just closed one of these and open the competition. Really
Thank you. Do it. So I'm Kenny West here. I have 2 listings coming up this Thursday. Well, this is a townhome in Provo, but easy to progress. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a little bit over 2,000 square feet, and it's going for 450. The other one is listing in Magna, is going for 430 for reference, 2 bathrooms, a little bit over 1,000 square feet. They just remodeled this. It's really cute, really solid. Compradores, buyers, please bring them over. I also wanted to offer, if you want to make a short video with me, and if you want to promote your listing in Spanish, I can do that. I'm willing to do that. Just let me know. Thank you.
I also, I also just gotta let you see the moment that someone had to drive, right, close to the future of Joe's, well, the issues thing for me. It's no longer happening, you're seeing that. It's like,
Any other needs? All right, come on, our third sponsor that's feeding us. Thanks.
All right, thank you for sponsoring me. Yeah, I don't know how many you guys work with. And, each other members we both. How many of you have worked with base code? Awesome. Hopefully it was a good experience. We specialize in foundation repair, often helping real estate professionals like yourselves with inspections. So when your home inspector points out something that feels like maybe a concern from a foundation perspective, tells you should reach out to a structural engineer or a qualified contractor. Reach out to a qualified contractor. I'm cheaper than structural engineers. I'm not an engineer, so I can't write a stamped letter. And oftentimes like an FHA loan. But I am a qualified contractor who can give you an honest assessment of the problem. Base code, we try to set ourselves apart from our competitors. I'm sure all of you know the groundwork's from what we've got. We're trying to, my boss, I'm really grateful for who I work for. Told me when I started this job 8 years ago, it's an easy job to recommend I repair your own mom, recommend it to our customer. Tell your own mom to do something different, tell the customer to do something. And I can't tell you how extremely rare that type of attitude is in the world that I work in. Sadly, foundation repair can be a very relative. And I know you guys have probably all been on that end of things. Yeah. Inspector points out a crack in the possible foundation. So your salary has a $100,000 proposal against that problem. It's often can. We're trying not to do that. We're trying to bring humanity back to foundation repair and just treat people fair, honestly. But we also do recognize that on behalf of buyers, right, the best time to take care of that type of problem is during the real estate transaction. Because the last thing we want to do is have somebody buy a home with a problem. They go to sell that home 5 or 6 years down the road, it still has that problem. That's not helpful either. So please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. We handle major structural issues, so selling structures that are sinking and causing problems. Basement waterproofing and concrete. So sometimes it's lifting porches that are all screwed up with columns or anything. Sometimes it's just eliminating tripping hazards on walkways and driveways. So brand also tripping. Anybody have any questions for me? We'll talk about this. No, but I will please take my card because one of my closest friends is actually in the process of starting to do with these things, dealing specifically with drainage issues and concerns around the property. I told him that, I've been doing what I've been doing for 8 years. I can't tell you how many times I told people, gotta extend downspouts, which again, all your home inspectors are saying. Gotta extend downspouts, gotta get waterway, that's the first step in protecting the foundation. And sadly, it's hard to find the services, so I will have a very good friend. Thanks, Brett. I got a huge stack of cards. Please, everyone, take them. The reason why is because my boss also just kind of went through a rebranding thing where we did some new logos and whatnot. So I had a box of the old cards and I got 2 boxes of new cards. So I got 20 cards to give out. On that note, on the card, please call the top number, which is my cell phone. Reason why is because at our office, we call that main number, use a sweetheart to show, take care of it, to get somebody out there to the house. But I know a lot of times you guys are dealing with due diligence deadlines. And because of that, the office only sets me up with 3 appointments a day. 3 appointments a day is far from the 8 hours. So I've got all kinds of time to field phone calls from real estate professionals, disaster relief specialists, companies that need kind of urgent, right? So if you call our office, they might look at my schedule or even that of my colleagues, the other estimators, and say, oh, as soon as we get something that's Tuesday, your due diligence is on Thursday. You call me directly, and I can almost always help. And if I can't, I'll find out my coworkers. Take care. Yeah. unfortunately, that's, at that point, it's really only two options. One would either be to remove the tree, and then hope concrete falls back into place in that spot. If it's not that severe, the best option is to rain these. You know, I do have a contact that I can set that up for concrete rain. Yes. Thank you so much. Got in the pie, and placed the record that they told me there were two people who were vegan, two people who were vegan. So hopefully it's just one. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And please give me a call if there's any.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Chris, for keeping our agents fed. All right, y'all, who's ready? Think not 25, because that's where Audrey is sitting. Just kidding, she can win us 10. She did a great job. All right, ready? Drum roll.
$32.
32.
Close number. That's me.
Well, y'all, again, we're doing this every single week at team meeting, ending it with a giveaway. Make sure that you are sitting where there are numbers.